Great morning, great morning. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Hey man, we're gonna go into a little um, wrestling today, man. Um, on this Thursday. Ooh, we already in May. Um, WWE just recently had their draft. Cut this TV down a little bit. Main event. What's going on with you there, brother? Oh, excuse me. I gotta get a minute. Main event. What's going on with you there, brother?
What's going on, man? I hope everybody's doing all right on this Thursday morning.
Hey man, I'm doing. That's about it. Uh, gonna go over the recent WWE draft. Um, and I'm gonna touch on an interview I saw with Kevin Nash. That was pretty interesting. Um, as I was saying earlier, WWE just recently had their annual draft, if you will. Um, they did it a little different this year, and I think they're doing it. I think by them doing it a little different, it makes sense the way they did it. The way they did it this year, main event, they left all the champions were locked in to their spots. Meaning, if you're the Raw champion, men's or women's, um, you stay put on your brand, and the same thing for SmackDown and NXT. So it really wasn't too many surprises. Not too many people really switched brands. They just pretty much just kind of lined up everything as far as what's going on with the angles that they're pushing and the storyline. Any surprises with you on the draft?
One of the big surprises for me was seeing Carmelo Hayes be that first draft pick. You know, and then he comes on the show later on against Cody and just steals the show.
Yeah,
So
he put on
the kid's ready. The kid's ready. And
he been ready.
you think of, oh yeah, he was ready last year. You know, and you think about Carmelo right now. You think about where Velveteen Dream would have been at this point. Should all of that wouldn't have happened to him. This is Carmelo's time. Is he ready for a championship already? Yes. Is he Gunther ready for a championship? Not quite.
I think so. You
I,
think about it. He's far better in ring. I can say far better. He's better in ring, and he's definitely better as far as cutting his promos.
oh
Um,
yes.
um, he got that it factor. He got that it factor, and the gorgeous thing about what Melo did was he put his partner over.
Oh yeah.
He really put Trick over. because Trick still got a little work to do. I know a lot. Hey, look here. Hey, I'm riding the wave too, y'all. Hey, it's whoop that Trick with me too, but Trick got a little. He got a little work to do. That's probably why they're leaving him put on NXT. So they're gonna probably, keep the belt on him. Not all not all the championships can be held by the heels, y'all. I know a lot of us we heal fans, but you gotta have a couple of champions, and right now holding that down will be Becky, Cody, and Trick. So
Yeah, I wish the one person the one wrestler I wish would have went to the main roster is Roxanne Perez. I think she's ready. I think she's personally ready. But
I,
maybe she got a little bit of some things she's got to work on too, maybe. But I think she's ready. I mean, I really think she's ready. Booker made her ready.
she's just as ready as Tiffany Stratton, and
Oh yeah,
and the other two girls, Lara Valkyria, the girl who she beat for the title, and the young lady that with a tin in her hair.
right. Valkyria, she was part of the NXT UK women's roster, and seeing her, Alba Fire, who went by her real name at that point in time, you know, all those women that came over from NXT UK, uh you had the former women's champion, Lyra Valkyrie, you had Alba Fire, you had her tag team partner, um you had Dewdrop or Piper Niven, all of those came from NXT UK, and all of them were established wrestlers, but they were kept on that NXT roster because they're not quite in that realm of being a WWE superstar. Only one I thought that could have been ready at that point in time was Piper Niven, and that was because she was over.
Mm-hmm. I agree. All right, before we go um, into what's going on with the WWE, and we'll go into what the Kevin Nash video. What's going on? What's going on at AEW right now? Do you like what's going on? What?
AEW is a sinking ship.
Huh?
It's a sinking ship. I mean, the bows are starting to crack. I mean,
Can
you're starting to see it slowly sink, and it's becoming a WCW type of thing because you got the inmates running the asylum, and that's basically what it is. You got the Jacksons running booking and
and they're holding on to the title. I mean,
yeah,
the issue that I have with it is they're looking too much like you said, like WCW. I guess they're trying to come across as an NWO type feel. It gives you an NWO type feel, but they ain't. But you got to look at the cast of characters that they had in the NWO. You had several future Hall of Famers
right.
um, in the NWO. Matt and Nick Jackson, they're very accomplished and very established wrestlers. Yep, and 24/7 Wrestling says it's a mess. They're losing sponsors and everything. And the thing about it is, it's right in their face, but they just turn a blind eye to it.
Viewership is down.
Yeah, it's really down. I mean, like I've missed them. a few episodes. I watched last night. I see they brought Jack Perry back, which might not be a bad idea.
No.
But it's too. It's too heel heavy over there. You got to have a few more baby faces.
Like, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
Thinking the same thing.
got to have a few more baby faces. The only real baby face they got over there is the Orange Cassidy kid. He's gonna, he's gonna probably they're gonna keep him as a baby face. Of course, Mercedes is a baby face, but she's subject to do a heel turn at any time. I like what they're doing with Willow. I didn't like her gimmick, and that's what we're gonna get into with the Kevin Nash interview. He's speaking on a particular wrestler's gimmick. Look, man, I'm a big Edge fan / Adam Copeland. Turn it in, bro. He's looking bad.
Yeah, I agree.
He's looking bad. He's looking and he's starting to. The one good thing, the thing that we liked about Edge or Adam Copeland is the boyish look that he had, and now he's really starting to look his age. You can't fight Father Time. I'm not criticizing him because he can't fight Father Time. Interestingly enough, Christian is getting more steam than he is, and that's pretty interesting. Right now, Christian may arguably be the top heel in all of professional wrestling. He's really working his gimmick well. I guess right now you would say Swerve Strickland is a baby face, but we already know he's unpredictable as well.
Mm-hmm.
I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to take a stab at WWE. That's something else they need to quit doing. Stop trying to take a stab at WWE because you can't compete with them. Just go out there and do what you're doing. So the stab that they're taking is proving that he's a fighting champion, and because he's defended his title 3 times in less than 10 days, and then they mentioned about Cody only defended his title 1 time in 3 weeks, but their schedules are way different. It's safe to say.
Yeah.
Them guys ain't got to do a fourth of the traveling that the WWE guys are doing. So, I would back up off that. The only thing I think that'll keep them from going completely belly up is just it's just enough wrestling guy fanatics like yourself and myself that's gonna pay attention to it just because we love professional wrestling or sports entertainment as they want to try to shove down our throat at this time. But it's still it's still professional wrestling. But there's a big drop off between the main guys and the mid carders, if you will, over there. There's a big drop off. They got some good, decent young talent, but what's going to wind up happening ultimately when that young talent don't get the burn they feel like they should get, they're going when their contract runs out, they're going to be right over here with WWE.
Jump ship. Yeah, exactly. Another thing when you talk about heel heavy, I think the other thing about AEW is that they're faction heavy too.
Well, so is WWE starting to get. You see, it's not as noticeable in WWE because their roster, the roster is so much bigger than AEW. But it's a lot of factions in WWE, and I'm with the factions. I'm cool. I kind of like that, because it creates better storylines when you got the factions, and it makes you know it, it makes it make it better for the drama.
I agree, but with WWE, you've got it spread across 3 different shows. Whereas every time you turn around, there's a match, there's a faction here, there's a faction here, there's a faction here, and they're not facing each other. They're all heels, pretty much. There's not a face faction. There's not, you got a stable. You got one that's a stable. With the with Moxley and Chastity Leone and those guys.
And
That's a stable pretty much.
you don't know. It changes show to show with them. One week they heels, the next week they the faces. So Tony Khan, he's got to come up. He's, Tony Khan got to get a wrestling guy on his team that's not on the active roster with them. He got to get him a wrestling guy. I would
Yeah,
say,
you had the perfect people. You had the perfect people in there at the beginning, Tully and Arn. But you had them on screen more so than off screen, and that just pretty much blew up in your face.
hmm, I would say take a stab at Vince Russo, but he's so fucking controversial.
No, no,
You know, uh,
no. I
or,
mean,
or a guy like Jim Cornette. Here's the thing. With it fledgling the way it is, he may have to take a leap of faith on a guy, on guys like that. Now, one
you
thing,
know, the thing about Jim Cornette, and that's a good idea because you think about it, Jim Cornette is still in his mid to late 50s, so he's still young enough to be an in ring person, and he's also old enough to be behind the scenes and running things.
he
Because
always,
what he did at OVW and with Smoky Mountain, I mean, the booking that he had, the guys he brought in, the talent that he moved on to ECW and WW and WCW and WWE when Smoky Mountain went down,
mm-hmm.
he's the perfect person for this. Like he's perfect for this. I really think he would be that guy, but does he want to leave Louisville? And that's the whole thing. He never thought of himself as a big city guy.
Mm-hmm. So let's flip back over to WWE. Monday Night Raw. Did you see it?
I watched bits and pieces of it.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
give you a rundown of what happened. Not in it, and it's not in the order what happened. I'm just gonna mention a couple things. Jey Uso, Ricochet, and Andrade defeated the Judgment Day. Jey Uso and Damian Priest goes face to face to close the show because they will be wrestling Saturday. By the way, the Saturday's pay per view will be in France, and it's a 1 o'clock Eastern time start time. So for you guys who watch the wrestling, who's locked in as locked in as we are. It's not going to be your usual 7 or 8 o'clock p.m. It's going to be a 1 o'clock start time. Mad Mike podcast comes in. Jim Cornette has too much going on with his podcast. He's not going into a train wreck. I was just, and I understand that, Mike. I was just really just throwing something out there to help Tony Khan's ass. But like I said, the only reason why I wouldn't go belly up is because it's just enough wrestling purists out there. CM Punk cuts a promo on Drew McIntyre. I mean, that's definitely not a spoiler. Says he's gonna What you think about this feud that's going on? And I think it's some genuine heat with them two. What you think about this feud?
I actually love it. I love it. I mean, it's bringing CM Punk back to the old CM Punk with the pipe bomb.
Mm-hmm.
It's bringing Drew McIntyre back to where he's starting to become Drew McIntyre again, where you can see him being that genuine great wrestler when he came back to WCW, when he came back to WWE from TNA.
Mm-hmm.
After that match with him and Kurt Angle, he's starting to go back to that guy. Not the guy before, but the guy right after when he became champion. That's the guy. That's the guy I want to see, and I think that's the guy that we're going to see from him going forward. But the question is can CM Punk stay healthy?
He can't.
I
He
think
ain't been
that's the bigger question.
healthy at all the last 3 or 4 years, and it's time. It's getting close to time for him. We're just going to hang it up. Uh, um, he'd make a shitload of money with if he had his own podcast. At a certain point, you got to hang it up, man. You keep tearing muscles and all that stuff. Look, man, might be time for you to get out of the way. And Mike know this. I'm a huge CM Punk fan, but
Mm-hmm.
at a certain point, you gotta be willing to call it quits. Let's just see how that goes. I think it's some genuine heat with them two, which is not a spoiler with Punk. Punk has been
Right.
known to have his share of feuds, wrong or right, good, bad, or indifferent. Liv Morgan defeats Nia Jax, so she's gonna take on Becky Lynch at the pay-per-view. If you see, it's a character change with Liv Morgan. They kind of, giving her this kind of throw it off, the throw it off the throw it off gimmick seems to work
Yeah.
for, especially a lot of the female superstars. What do you think about Liv's new gimmick?
It kind of reminds me of Alexa Bliss's old gimmick.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Perfect
more
answer.
or less. But at the same time, I look at Liv Morgan, and I think it's time for her to have some sort of rebuild. Because she's got that fun side to her, and that's what we've all seen. Now we're going to see that serious side, but she's also getting punished because what happened to Rhea Ripley shouldn't happen because that was a legit injury. She had a legit shoulder separation, and that's why
Well,
she's out.
just like Liv's injury was legit, and it they already telling you right now. They already telling you the WrestleMania match for next year. It's almost a given that it's going to be them too, because Liv's going. I mean, Rhea's going to be out what 4 to 6 months.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's getting married too, so that's the other thing to that.
Okay. Now she got to guard against the obvious. When you get married, you're around, you get comfortable, and next thing you know, what'll happen?
Pregnant.
Yeah, got to guard against that. It's because she is. A lot of people don't know how young Rhea Ripley is. Rhea Ripley, I don't think she's hit 27 yet.
She's 28 years old.
Oh, she just hit 28?
And 28 years old, she's already a Grand Slam champion. She's already done things that no other wrestler in WWE has ever done. She's won women's championships in every single uh, organization under the WWE banner. NXT UK women's champion, NXT women's champion. SmackDown champion, Raw champion, and she's been a tag team champion. This is a woman who's already a Grand Slam winner, and hadn't even scratched the surface yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
what's going on, Chad Gable? I see they giving him an image. He's gone, I guess, full heel now. He attacked him and Sami Zayn, got a little thing going, and he attacked Sami Zayn.
I think it's time for Chad Gable to be a singles champion.
Okay, I can go for that.
Do I want to call Sami Zayn a transitional champion? No, but that's what it's leaning toward. And I'm looking at the same thing with Damian Priest. Is he a transitional champion too? I mean, these guys deserve long range and pushes, but it just got that feel of transition.
Well, I think WWE is going to, for a while, go away with just can't have the title just change your hands. I know a lot of us fans want to see, they want to see. It's a lot of Drew, not Drew. Damien is not a favorite. I know he's a favorite of Mike. But I think he's gonna be a pretty decent champion for the Raw brand. But right now, who's his? You think they'll put the bet on Jey Uso? I doubt it.
As a fan, you would want to see that, but as a purist like myself, I want to see him do the chase instead of him being champion.
Yeah.
Kind of like how the Undertaker was in his heyday. Even though they did put the belt on him, he was always chasing.
Now, Roman decided to keep himself a free agent. You see kind of two bloodlines forming.
Yes.
Right? You got Solo with Ming's son. Ain't that Ming's son?
Yep, Tama.
And you can almost see Jimmy and Jay. Did Jimmy I didn't see Jimmy get drafted. Did Jimmy get drafted?
One went to Raw, one went to SmackDown.
Okay, well Jimmy went back to SmackDown. Okay. I mean, they got to eventually get back together, and so you're gonna have the good bad line against the bad bloodline, and I think probably the bad bloodline is gonna be more.
You got the other brother coming in too.
Yeah. Are they going to incorporate the women? You got 3 women on the roster.
Right. Naomi.
You got Naomi, Naya, and Ava.
Right.
So, and Tamina's still backstage somewhere as well. So the question is, are they going to incorporate the women into the bloodline? Braun Strowman returned Monday night. Where does he factor in?
Wow. I think in a few months, I think he'll be back in that world title hunt again. I think he's gonna incorporate himself in probably another tag team if that doesn't happen. I can see it being an attack. I can see him and Ricochet going back and forth, but with Ricochet being the new Speed champion, that's a little bit of a stretch. But
What
I
was
think that's a wait and see on Braun.
what was that Speed shit about? I mean, because I didn't.
Okay, so what the Speed wrestling is it's the 3 minute time limit, and basically you're wrestling for 3 minutes, and it's all fast paced, all offense.
Okay, got you. Kind of.
It's kind of, I mean, you think of it as
Kind of like
you've seen the
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 underground.
Ring of Honor shows with
Okay,
the Pure. All it is just that with Speed.
we got to do something with Ricochet because right now, Ricochet, your girl is getting more burned than you. I mean, um, Samantha's very popular on social
Mm-hmm.
media. I think the most iconic. I, I think her announcing Cody as the winner at WrestleMania is going to probably put her in the Hall of Fame.
Put it like this: for a woman, and she said this before, she does not like to know the outcomes of any match. So she doesn't even know the outcome of any match. She wants to be as pure as possible.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So I love that. I love that about her.
Just to hear her.
Secondly,
Yeah,
you hear the fan come out of her.
yeah,
The
yeah,
fangirl come out of her.
yeah. And she's a fan of all of those guys. You could tell she like little sister to a lot of those guys. Little sister, big
Mm-hmm.
sister, and she loved everybody. You know what I mean? You like you could tell how the wrestlers be messing with her. Like even
Mm-hmm.
the ones that take shots at her. You know,
Right.
she's a modern day Lillian Garcia.
I wouldn't even call her modern day Lillian Garcia. To me, she's a female Howard Finkel.
Okay.
I mean, you look at the greats announcers from Gary Michael Capetta to the Fink to Justin Roberts, who I think is probably one of the best in the game, and you put her and Lillian together. Those those are Hall of Fame people right there. Even though Justin Roberts doesn't get the recognition that he should, he's really good on the mic.
How long we got to deal with Logan Paul? I mean, he's getting a lot of heat right now, so I guess that's probably the reason why they're keeping the U.S. title.
Like I said on the previous podcast, you gave legitimacy to David Arquette's world championship when you gave him a belt. And for him to be the U.S. champion this long shows that A, you're looking for sponsorships, and B, you're looking for extra money, which you don't need.
I was getting ready to say they don't need it.
You don't need it. So to me, he's just a placeholder. I
Well,
mean,
I'll be glad when they get that part of it figured out. I mean, look, your roster is too deep right now. The roster's too deep right now. Get his ass up out of there. I'm sick of looking at him.
look,
He's annoying as fuck. I mean, but
yes,
that means he's doing. That
what he
means
should be doing.
yeah. So
I want to go back. I want to go back one situation real quick,
right,
and I want to talk about Ricochet for just a tad second longer. Ricochet has the most belts won without being a world champion currently. He's won 5 different championships in WWE. Is he ready to be that next guy up as a world champion?
I think so. Got to work on his promo. Promo skills a
But
little
I
bit.
think his in ring, takes care of his promos.
Yeah, he athletic as hell, man.
Yeah.
When he did that somersault from the ring to the floor,
In front of Velveteen Dream.
that's hard, man.
Yeah.
If he miss on that, he could break a whole lot of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I watched somebody put in the chat an interview with Kevin Nash, and he was talking about how he feels Ron Killings is getting shitted on with his gimmick. With this, yeah, I mean, he didn't cut no corners with this.
If it's the same interview, I see it, but I want to hear it again.
I'll send it to you. He pretty much said
Okay.
they make R-Truth look like a fucking clown. And he's too talented of a performer to do that. And he's kind of sound like you're a little mad at R-Truth even going for that shit. Now, my thoughts on that, I think it is a little over the top, but it's so fucking funny. He's nailing it. It's kind of damn if you do, damn you don't, because Ron, he's nailing that gimmick. Like, you go on social media now, you looking for the funniest R-Truth moments. Like, you trying to you looking to see who he can break, because a lot of it be about, people be placing bets backstage on whether Ron can break them or not. He was pretty much saying that the WWE kind of shitting on the black wrestlers. That's what I got off what he's saying with their gimmicks. Now I'm gonna tell you the issue that I have. Like, I'm gonna flip to the females. Christy, what's going on? I'm gonna shift to the females. I mean, it's okay to push the sexuality, because I damn sure don't want to see none of that butt shit. No disrespect to nobody. Okay. And I'm gonna be very, very careful how I say this. I like it when they push women, and they push them being women. Is that good enough? That clean?
I agree. I think I get what you're saying, and I wish that you had that fine balance between push and give and take with the women, where you have with the men.
Let's compare and contrast. Look at Jade Cargill's gimmick, if you will, in relation to, even though she's super over, Bianca Belair's gimmick.
Similar, yet different.
The different is, and Bianca done kind of toned it down a little bit. I guess she might be a bad example now. I would say more. This is more Trinity or Naomi. They definitely do a whole fucking video by the time they get to the ring. Hell, if they got to cut a promo, they got to take a 30-second pause, especially with Naomi, because Naomi need to work on her conditioning. Because she be breathing, and it kind of waters down her promo. If you know, check out the next time Naomi cut a promo, and
I've noticed that.
Yeah, like, she damn near do a whole goddamn dance video, and I get her background, former cheerleader for the Orlando, Magic, was she a former
Right.
cheerleader, Orlando Magic, and she went to dance school and all that stuff. That I get all that, but why Rhea Ripley is so over is because, they pushing her as a tough girl, but they also leaving that little bit. They, you know, they're leaving it. They leaving the sex appeal in there too, because Rhea is a god awful sexy woman.
Oh yeah.
I think she look better without all that fucking war paint. Take that damn makeup off. But I get.
And to be honest with you, I like Rhea as she is now, as she was before when she first came in with the Mae Young Classic. When she had the blonde hair, long blonde hair, and the shaved side.
She was still she was our little darling then. She was the baby face then. So though she had a little heel in her, she was the baby face then. But it's just that. But just getting back to the gimmicks. Like the black wrestlers are the ones having to settle for these types. Let me give you. I'm gonna give you examples. New Day. I thought when I first seen it, I thought that was some bullshit. But it
But when they came up with, when we hear that they came up with it themselves,
they did.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I ain't got nothing to say then. I didn't like it at first, but it got so over. The aforementioned Ron Killings. Like I said, the girls, they getting they burn, but they got to do it like goddamn. I mean, they got to do a whole damn dance video. And I get the part about, listen, it's give or take. Some kind of way you gotta sell sex without selling sex.
Right.
And I guess that's their way of doing it, you know. So I get that. But, you know, talking about gimmicks.
But you're not doing it like the extreme, like what TNA used to do with the beautiful people. You know how they used to come into the ring, shake their ass, and you know,
and Velvet
straddle the ring, straddle the ropes and stuff. You know,
used to show it to us too, man. Oh, Velvet used to show it to us. You know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know,
they stopped it because these old righteous motherfuckers started complaining. But you allowing people like Nyla Rose.
And don't get me wrong, Nyla Rose is a straight shooting, great young talent, but she's sensationalizing, quote unquote, sensationalizing sexuality, and it's getting over, in a sense. But you look at other people that's done it in the past. The girl with the jumping split in WWE, I cannot remember her name right now. Stacy Keibler.
Well, that was Attitude Era. You know, anything that's connected to the Attitude Era, you know. And is it me? Before I ask this question about the gimmicks, is it me or are they keep saying this is not the Attitude Era? Yes, it is, bro. Y'all could
look. Not the Attitude Era. Is getting back to the grassroots of what wrestling is. An outlaw type sport.
That was the Attitude Era.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what the Attitude Era was. But what I'm saying is, like, we're starting to go back to those old territory days where you had, like, the real strong style wrestling. Not like what you got scenic wise, you know. We're getting back to the grassroots, strong style. No, let's get after this, you know. Not like the live era, you know, because the live era is just, it is what it is. You lost kayfabe, but we're trying to get back to kayfabe. But you're not going to get back to it because of social media.
Men or women? Give me your top 5 gimmicks of all time. Men or women?
Men or women? Top 5 gimmicks?
Yeah. The most
I
over.
loved. I mean, I can go back so many years.
Go back.
I love Sherry Martell's gimmick when she was with the Macho King.
Sensational Sherry.
Yeah, when she was Sensational Queen. Um, I loved. I loved Kevin Sullivan
The
when he
Taskmaster.
first. Kevin Sullivan,
Victorious.
Jake Roberts, and
Was Jake a
there was a
gimmick?
third person that was in that too that I loved as well. And
Once
I
you watch,
loved the psychology of the game. Barry Windham was another one that had that same psychology.
let me ask you something. Once you watch,
I can hear you. So, what I was saying about Barry Windham, I mean, you look at the psychology of wrestling, and you look at what Barry Windham and um, Mike Rotunda and Kevin Sullivan and Jake Roberts brought what they brought to the table. They brought a psychology to wrestling that you had never seen before.
now what I was asking is, after watching Jake's story, was it really a gimmick?
No, no. I mean, and then going back and reading and looking at a previous interview he just did not too long ago, where he's talked about how his father abused him. Not only did he abuse him, but he abused Robin, he abused Sam, and everybody else in that family.
Let me tell you something.
So,
Any of you wrestling fans, wrestling purists, if y'all really want to see it interesting, all those A&E biographies are good.
but Jake the Snake Roberts is the best.
But one of the top stories is when they talked about the daddy and they talked about Jake. Look at the promo. Look at the story on Jake Robinson, and then look at the one on his daddy, Grizzly Smith. That was a sick motherfucker, man.
Yeah,
he was a sick dude. Gimmicks. I think Undertaker. It's hard to not have him at the top.
Oh yeah, of course.
Bray Wyatt. R.I.P. to Bray Wyatt. Luna Vachon.
Are we talking about WWE WWF Luna Vachon, or are we talking about Indy Luna Vachon? Because Indy Luna Vachon, I've heard she went to biting people. She bit people and actually bit a guy's ear off, a fan's ear off.
When you really believe that's what that person is, that's a hell of a gimmick.
Yes.
Abdullah the Butcher. And I'm going back as well. Bruiser Brody. When you find out what type of person Frank Goulash really was, he wasn't Bruiser Brody.
That's you know what? I'm gonna say something about Bruiser Brody that nobody else will say. And you can go back and you can watch Iron Claw all you want to. Bruiser Brody took whatever happened to David to the grave.
David.
I don't care what nobody says.
David Von Erich?
Yes.
A few people did.
He took that to the grave. He's probably the only person that really knows what happened to David Von Erich.
I don't know. Abdullah know about that too. He know about what happened with David Bonner.
All of them were in Japan at the same time.
I'm thinking somebody fucked up when it came to him. It wasn't what we were told. I don't know. I don't know for sure. I'm gonna have to do my research, but if it was my guess, something medically happened to him. That
They said he had food poisoning. He ate some poisonous poisonous fish, or something like that. He ate a puffer fish. That was the story that was given, and that's why he died. He poisoned himself to death. Then they've also said that he had some sort of heart ailment while over there.
Something going on up in here. It was something going on up in his abdomen area. I'd have to look into that because I don't want to put out incorrect stuff when it comes, especially when it comes to people passing on. Damn. I think we can go over a little bit. I don't think nobody else is coming on.
But here's the thing. You know, when we talk about Kevin Sullivan, the Jake Snake Roberts, those guys, I love the psychology that they brought in the wrestling.
Yeah.
I love the mystery that they brought in, the intrigue they brought in.
Yeah.
That was Bray Wyatt all the way.
Yeah. Bray kind of was, but you got to look at who's Bray. You got to look at the lineage that he come from. Black Mulligan, Barry Windham, his dad, and Mike Rotundo. So, you know, a lot of those guys,
and all of them were, and Kevin Sullivan is his godfather. So, you know, you look at that all together, and you just see the psychology that comes out, the modern psychology of it. That's why I always call Bray Wyatt the Kevin Sullivan of our generation.
No, I'm not going to put that on here. Kevin Sullivan's a piece of shit.
I mean, the reason why I say that was because the what he brought to the wrestling side of it, but not him as a person.
Roddy Piper really was engulfed. He was so engulfed into his gimmick that it affected his home life. Look at the biography on Randy Poffo.
Randy Poffo was probably one of the best athletes I've ever seen in the wrestling ring.
Yeah, we talking about Macho Man Randy Savage.
Mm-hmm.
We can go.
And on. The reason why I always said WrestleMania 3 and the Randy Savage and Steamboat match was the best match I'd ever seen, is because that's what made me a true wrestling fan. That's what a lot of people always talk about, is that standard for what Lucha Libre is at this point. Everybody talks about how, that match for me is standard. If it can't live up to that 18 minutes that we had, and then the lead up that came up with that as well, there's nothing like it.
There's a bunch of matches that can be argued. That's I mean, you can't go against that match. Angle had a match at WrestleMania with was it Eddie or Chris Benoit? It was
man, he had something. Chris Benoit, you talking about WrestleMania 20? With him and Eddie?
It was shortly before Chris died.
Yeah, the one with him and Eddie.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 20.
Okay. I know I've talked about it before, but I want to go into, because I just got triggered again. I actually went past that house the other day. down in Fayetteville, and I just shook my head. Chris Benoit's house. I want to go into that next week. We'll go into that next week. Monday, every Monday after a pay-per-view, we'll be on the air between 7 and 8 to recap the pay-per-view. So this Monday coming up, we're going to be on at 7 p.m. To recap Backlash. You expecting the titles to change hands?
No. Well, I just had this conversation with a friend of mine this morning, and she's got that same thought that I have. Does this pay per view feel more like a like an old school Clash of Champions to you than it does a pay per view?
Clash of Champions, that's what it was. Clash of Champions, wasn't it? I mean, Clash of Champions, that's whole WCW pay per view, right?
Right. It was on network TV. It seems like this card has network TV vibes all over it. It's like a Raw card, pretty much. That's what it seems like to me.
The triple threat match between Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Bayley. That match just keeps sticking in my head that something's gonna happen in that match. I'm not saying a title change, but I'm feeling a turn from Naomi.
Yeah, and I also really think that may be the show stealer if everybody plays their part right.
Because when Naomi came back, she seemed to be a whole lot concerned about what was going on with Bayley. The girls in the locker room saying Bayley pretty much made her bed. She's going to lay in it. That's what Bianca told her. And I know a lot of people were saying maybe a turn from Jade. But it's not really a turn from Jade because Jade ain't never really. I mean, only thing she's solidified is her sisterhood with Bianca and Trent. So I don't. It would be too obvious if Jade did a turn. If that makes sense.
and here's the other thing. Jade and Bianca have that vibe of, if I go back to 80, 88, 89, I go back to the Mega Powers with Macho Man and Hogan. It's got that kind of vibe, and I think it's going to implode itself at WrestleMania next year. That's the vibe I got.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Main Event, appreciate you coming on, man. We're going to go ahead and get on up out of here, man. Hey, y'all going to see us here every Thursday, 11 a.m., unless there's some breaking news that we have to possibly go over. Any final remarks that you got, Main Event?
And y'all be safe. Y'all be sure to check out my man, OG Truth Hurts. And on all the platforms he's got, also all the shows he's got, because he's on 6-7 days a week, 25/8. So
I had to listen. I had to take a coffee break. You know, sometimes you got to take a coffee break. This is the raw truth about wrestling, exclusive world of wrestling, man. And we always speak the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Make sure y'all catch me, like as Main Event alluded to, each Monday after pay-per-view, which will be from 7 to 8. But every Monday from 11 to 12, we do the raw truth. OG Big Sam and myself, we do the realistic OGs from 1 to 2 on Tuesday. And again, we here on Thursday, man. So, hey, everybody have a super fantastic weekend. And we see you guys on Monday. I'm out.